Hey, Lightworker Christina here. I wanted to talk to you about the message I received today. A lot of times in my life, I was going through trauma and I just couldn't or didn't know how to deal with it. So I just kept swallowing it, kept swallowing all of the feelings I was feeling, all of the pain, all of the discomfort. I just kept putting it down. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was just going further. It was getting further and further, and my heart chakra was filling up with all this guilt and frustration because I didn't feel like I was complete in how I was feeling. I had all these messages I was receiving from a very young age. I didn't know what those messages meant. There was many times during periods of trauma I would feel like I wasn't completely even in my body, or I wasn't, because the trauma was just too much. And now I understand what that was. I had gone through so many different periods where I was taken almost completely to the other side of the veil, to back to heaven. And the angels guided me back here and told me, no, Christina, my time had not ended. I needed to continue in this life. I can't count all the different times in this life that I was guided back because I still needed to do stuff. There are so many different times that I've gone through trauma and I just couldn't talk about it. And I'm just now able to start opening up and tell you about those experiences. Not because I didn't want to, but because I pushed down all those things for so long that it was just so much. And my throat chakra had filled up so much that I couldn't talk anymore. I felt like what I said always came out wrong, or it was misconstrued, or it just couldn't come out at all. To the point where I would, my heart literally broke, and I had probably the peak of the dark night of my soul, and I got to a point where I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything, and I almost had reached the climax of my life. And that's when I realized I had to do something really pivotally different in my life. Something had to completely change. And what changed is I started touching right here. I started giving myself the love that I'd always been giving other people. Because what had happened is I was constantly working on helping other people because I didn't want to feel all of the emotional wounds that I had gone through with all those different points of trauma. So it was just, it had gotten so much. That's why I want to talk to you guys slowly about how that has been helpful for me to release those different points